Hey guys, I Saw Bear here, and today we're going to talk about update 0.021 for the game Foxhole. So right off the bat, the big news for this week is that they've added the AT turret. Now we talked about this last week, and I had mentioned that they had concept art, but they worked really fast and got it out for this week. So the AT turret, or the gun turret, costs 120 mats to build. It's heavily armored and really acts more as an anti-everything gun. This gun will target players and vehicles, and it's very effective at taking out both. One thing to note is that it can shoot 360 degrees around it. However, if you are infantry, you can usually outrun how fast the turret turns. This will be your one advantage as infantry. It also doesn't continuously turn. It's got this dead zone located right at the rear of it. Once you cross this dead zone, it'll switch to the other direction and try to pursue you that way. This is your biggest advantage. Try to approach it from the rear or at sharp angles. It's also pretty funny just to watch it spin around in circles. Be careful though, it fires a high explosive round and it usually finds its target. Another big feature for this week is Reprimands. Think of these as the opposite of commend points. You can spend a commend point to reprimand a player for poor behavior. For players receiving a reprimand, this causes you to lose rank progress. Cooldowns are also in place for both sending and receiving reprimands. Hopefully this encourages good behavior and punishes bad behavior online. Due to an incident that happened last week, you now also have to have a reason when you decide to vote to kick a player. And this reason will appear in the chat as well, so everyone knows why you're trying to kick someone. Hopefully these two systems balance each other out. Another new in-game feature is that you will instantly drop your backpack with your full kit on the ground once you log out of a server. So now, instead of just having all your items disappear upon you logging out, you will actually drop your items on the ground and can find them later. But this goes for other players too, so try to drop it in a friendly location. Next up, mines placed on roads are now easier to spot. The material for the mines no longer blends in with the background of the road. Another small tweak is that, using a wrench, you can now unlock friendly vehicles if they are under the control of a coalition. This is useful for when all the coalition members log out and they just leave the trucks locked, so that the rest of the team can't use them. Just don't be breaking into each other's trucks. Use it wisely. And lastly, the other big addition this week, the RPG. The RPG is the new anti-vehicle weapon in the game for infantry use. A set of RPG tubes will cost you 60 mats, and produces a total of 3 tubes. And each RPG shell will cost you 8 mats. The rocket-propelled grenade, RPG, once held is actually quite large and will make you very visible on the battlefield. It will also make you quite slow, not quite as slow as carrying a mortar or an HMG, but you still might want to holster it for traveling. Your field of view when aiming isn't very far either, so you'll have to get pretty close to your target. The explosion effect, however, is really nice. And no, I've tried it. It will take several RPGs to actually take down a gun turret. A few other changes this week include: player characters no longer play animations when placing a building structure. Half-tracks are now 13% more resistant to small ballistics, and their health has been increased by 25%. This is likely to compensate for the addition of the RPGs. Reinforced walls also have had their small ballistics mitigation increased by 13%. Again, probably to balance out the weapons now featured in the game. Player profiles are now synced across all server instances. I mentioned this last week, but the devs contacted me in the comment section of my last video and let me know that they had to delay at the last minute. So that feature has been pushed back to this week, but now it's finally implemented. There were also some bug fixes this week, but I'll leave that for the description below. One thing I do want to mention, however, is that local voice chat now works while driving a vehicle. So that will be super useful for truck drivers trying to ask directions. That about does it for this week, guys. Stay tuned for more Foxhole updates in the future. Be sure to put those AT weapons to some good use. And as always, good luck, keep your heads down, and stay in your foxholes. Bear out.